As one of the most successful names in American history, Coca-Cola's fascinating beginnings turned into one of the largest and one of the most beloved refreshments in the entire world. Coca-Cola's history began in 1886 when a pharmacist from Atlanta named Dr. John Pemberton created a distinctive flavored syrup that he took down the street to Jacob's Pharmacy. There it was mixed with carbonated water, sampled, deemed excellent, and placed on sale for 5 cents a glass as a soda fountain drink. The drink was actually sold as a nerve tonic that relieved exhaustion and cured headaches. During the first year, they served on average 9 drinks per day. Dr. Pemberton's partner and bookkeeper, Frank Robinson, is credited with naming the beverage Coca-Cola, as well as designing the timeless script still used today. Since the recipe for the syrup called for coca leaf extract and caffeine from the cola nut, the name Coca-Cola was easy to come up with. Thinking that 2 C's would look better and more striking in advertising, Robinson penned Coca-Cola in his unique script. In 1887, an Atlanta druggist and businessman named Asa Candler bought the formula for Coca-Cola from Pemberton. In 1892, he founded the Coca-Cola Company, and by 1895, the company was distributing Coca-Cola nationwide in the United States. Unfortunately, Pemberton never realized the potential of the beverage he created, and died just a few years later. Coca-Cola was one of America's most popular fountain drinks, largely due to Candler's aggressive marketing of the product. The first marketing efforts were executed through coupons promoting free samples of the beverage. Once people tried it, they kept coming back for more, and forking over 5 cents a glass thereafter. Considered an innovative tactic back in 1887, couponing was followed by newspaper advertising and the distribution of promotional items, such as hand-painted oilcloth signs bearing the Coca-Cola script to participating pharmacies. Soon after, Coca-Cola began franchising the rights to bottle Coca-Cola in cities across the U.S. By 1920, over 1,200 Coca-Cola bottling operations were established. Sales in both fountain and bottle form continued to increase, and that popularity led to dozens of competitors trying to imitate the famous trademark of Coca-Cola. So many knockoff brands appeared that consumers had trouble telling them apart from the real thing. Because of this, Candler was losing market share to hundreds of competitors. The bottles used in those days were simple, straight-sided bottles that were typically brown or clear. So he launched a national contest for a new bottle design that would allow consumers to recognize the bottle by feel as they dipped their hands into an icebox. The Root Glass Company, a bottling plant in Indiana, decided to enter the contest and based its design off the product's name. They came across an illustration for the cocoa plant that caught their attention. Coca-Cola had nothing to do with cocoa, but the cocoa pod had an appealing shape. He and his team designed the bottle and were declared the contest winners the next year. Coca-Cola commissioned the bottle design. The contract called for the bottles to be colored with Georgia green in homage to the home state of Coca-Cola. It also called for the name of the city which was placing the glass order to be embossed on the bottom of the bottle. In 1928, Coca-Cola became the first Olympic sponsor for the Summer Games hosted in Amsterdam. This seemed like a great way to introduce Coca-Cola to the world, so at the Games they had kiosks selling Coca-Cola to give consumers a refreshing taste. This began nearly a century-long sponsorship of the Olympic Games. The Coca-Cola Company has also been a long-standing sponsor of the Olympic Torch Relay, which leads up to the Olympic Games. We can also thank Coca-Cola for giving us the image of Santa Claus. In 1931, Seeking to create an advertising campaign that linked Coca-Cola with Christmas, the company commissioned illustrator Haddon Sundblom to put a face to the Santa Claus legend, and the illustrator drew inspiration from the classic "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." It's Sundblom's illustration of the plump, jolly, and red-coated Santa that we now recognize as the quintessential Santa Claus. While Andy Warhol is the artist most known for using the Coke bottle in art, the first popular artist to incorporate the bottle in a painting was Salvador Dali, who included a bottle in his 1943 work, Poetry in America. However, Warhol's use of the bottle cemented the pop art movement and enshrined the bottle as a favorite. In 1943, the U.S. government requested that Coca-Cola be made available to the troops. The company pledged to provide Coke to the military for a nickel, regardless of what it may have cost them to produce the product. In 1945, Coke became a registered trademark of the Coca-Cola Company, and the Sprite Boy character was introduced in advertising to convey the message that Coca-Cola and Coke are two terms that reference the same product. In 1963, the Coca-Cola Company started their popular Things Go Better with Coke campaign, but then in 1969 replaced it with a campaign that centered on the slogan, "It's the real thing." In 1971, Coca-Cola aired one of the most iconic ads in the history of advertising, their "I'd Like to Buy the World a Coke" commercial. It was inspired by an incident where passengers on a delayed plane ultimately got their frustrations out by laughing over a bottle of Coca-Cola. The song was filmed as a television ad on a hilltop outside of Rome, Italy, featuring an international group of young people. By November of that year, Coca-Cola had received more than 100,000 letters about the ad. Advertising surveys still consistently identify it as one of the best commercials of all time. The Coca-Cola polar bears became icons for the company as soon as the popular Northern Lights commercial aired in 1993. The bears were animated by Rhythm and Hues, using the most current technology to bring the always thirsty bears to life. Numerous polar bear commercials have been produced since, and their activities have included skiing and skating, while the family has grown to include playful cubs. For over a century, Coca-Cola has been refreshing the world. Today, Coca-Cola makes billions in revenue and is instantly recognized worldwide. The popularity of the drink has always been about the fizzy taste, but Coca-Cola has also had some really strong marketing campaigns to keep the drink top of mind. So the real question is, Coke or Pepsi? If you're a fan of the soft drink or any of its various flavors, let me know in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching.